Assalamu alaikum and a very good afternoon. Ambassador Sarwar Naqvi Sahab, Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I consider it a privilege to have been invited to participate in today's deliberations on the recently concluded plenary of the NSG held on 22nd and 23rd June, which is last month. As I prepared my opening remarks for this event and as I looked at the program of this event, frankly speaking, I thought I should listen to a review from the various speakers before I can really comment on what is the status of, or what is the situation post the plenary. However, we hope to benefit, and you will hear comprehensively the details of what has transpired and its implications. As we all know, this cartel, the NSG, this cartel of 48 countries regulates nuclear commerce for civilian uses and is an important forum for non-proliferation. Pakistan has been endeavoring to be a part of this forum and to be treated fairly in entering the forum. In my view, the recent plenary was a significant event, the first being held since the departure of the Obama administration, which had lobbied aggressively in support of India. The first since the glossy proposals were put forward. And of course, in the wake of Prime Minister Modi's raising of the NSG issues with the Chinese President Xi and Russia's President Putin. However, it ended inconclusively on the issue of the NPT member states. In fact, the sense that one gets from the media is that the recent plenary, particularly from the aspect of India and Pakistan, it seems that the Indian attempts to gate crash into the NSG with the support of the previous US administration has become more complicated, particularly in the background of the dip in Indo-Chinese relations. Reactions over the glossy proposals that were clearly favorable to India and international recognition about the negative effects of the policy of exceptionalism which had been extended to India in the past. There's also a feeling that the deep financial crises in the Westinghouse and Arriva are likely to lead to the reneging on the contracts with India, lowering Indian leverage in deliberations they're dealing with France and the United States on the transfer of civilian nuclear technology. Ladies and gentlemen, Pakistan has been fully committed to the principles of non-proliferation and wishes to play its rightful role in the international order. This nuclear program is a function of its security compulsions and aimed at achieving regional strategic stability through a minimum credible deterrence. Pakistan is desirous of friendly relations with its neighboring states, including India. It maintains a safe, secure, and reliable nuclear arsenal while following the fundamental policy of credible nuclear deterrence. Pakistan's full spectrum deterrence is a qualitative response to prevent all kinds of wars in the region. It maintains a policy, as I said, of credible minimum deterrence with no intent to produce fissile material beyond its quantified needs. This may be unlike some other countries in the world. It is ironic that while Pakistan's reactions in the context of its national security are noted and acknowledged, but no apparent attention is paid or given to the causes that led to it to react this way. Pakistan is not into conventional or nuclear arms race with anybody, least with India. But of course, it cannot ignore efforts to develop an overwhelming conventional and strategic capabilities by India. Let me also add that Pakistan has no need to look beyond its immediate neighborhood. Pakistan's threat perception emanates from India, and our deterrence posture is primarily India-centric. We continue to adhere to our declaration of maintaining an unilateral moratorium on nuclear testing. And of course, the bogey of it being the fastest, of we having the fastest growing nuclear program is a myth created in the Western perceptions. Ladies and gentlemen, the NSG membership, in our view, should be based on the principles of non-discrimination. Granting India membership would adversely impact the non-proliferation regime as well as regional peace and stability. The precondition of signing NPT in order to gain access to the NSG has been violated in the past. Case in point is France's admission into the group, which when it was admitted into the NPT, when it was admitted into the NSG, was not a party to the NPT. Pakistan is therefore not obligated to sign the NPT either. To this effect, in my view, denying non-NPT member states access to NSG is a faulted approach. It is the right of every nuclear weapon state, abiding by the rules and regulations prescribed by the IAEA, to have access to state-of-the-art nuclear technology. A realistic and workable framework must be followed by NSG for an objective, equitable, and non-discriminatory approach for admitting new members. We are also concerned that in case India manages to gain membership of the NSG, Pakistan's prospects of joining the group will diminish. Pakistan's entry into the NSG, India's entry into the NSG without Pakistan being there will threaten the strategic stability situation in South Asia, which has already been affected by the NSG waiver provided to India under the 123 agreement with the United States. Pakistan will not accept any measures offered as a quid pro quo to entry on the NSG, which in our perception jeopardize our sovereignty and national security. Ladies and gentlemen, we have been encouraged that the opposition and the principled opposition to India's gate crashing into the NSG has not only been opposed by China, but it has been its invalidity has been recognized by other members of the NSG, and in fact the number has been growing. We hope to hear the details of this in the subsequent deliberations, and then I'm sure we will be clearer on where the situation is and where we stand with regards to the progress of non-NPT members' entry into the NSG. I would once again like to thank Ambassador Naqvi for inviting me to participate in today's parleys, and I am pleased to see a very large number of dignitaries, participants who, some of course traveling from the UK and other parts of the world to participate in this roundtable, and I am confident that we will benefit very significantly from their views on this subject. I thank you very much.